Obviously, the main concern is how to stop the virus and death and so on, but I think that we should look into the origins of this. Is it the CDC's contention that there's absolutely no relation to the BSL-4 lab in Wuhan? It's my understanding this is the only place in China with a BSL-4 lab. We in the United States have, I think, 24 or so, and there have been problems and incidents. Some of them have been shut down out of concerns of leakage of potential pathogens, and it's an ethical struggle in the United States about gain-of-function research. That is, research that actually attempts to make pathogens more lethal. And China is a very opaque society, a totalitarian regime. We have no idea, or I don't know, you tell me, do you have any idea what kind of research could potentially be done? I'm not contending that this was intentional in any way. I'm just asking, is it a complete coincidence that this outbreak happened in one city in China with a BSL-4 lab, and shouldn't we be having at least some of the discussion about the ethics of some of the research that happens here? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for those comments. Based on everything that I know about what is going on with this outbreak and the research that's being conducted, as well as the genomic sequences that have been posted and the comparison with animal strains, the pattern that we're seeing is quite consistent with emergence from animal to human acquisition and adaptability or mutations that permit the virus to be easily spread between people. There's some emerging research about, the virus itself is related to bat viruses, as was the SARS virus and the MERS virus, but there was an intriguing report about pangolin sequencing, an animal that is apparently a large part of the wildlife trade around the world, with 99% similarity, but what our scientists tell us is you actually need more like 99.9% similarity for us to understand origin. The animal origins and the circumstances of the emergence of this virus are really important to understand, and it's one of the key questions that the global community wants to look into. In terms of the question about gain-of-function research and laboratory issues, very important for us as a scientific community to have practices that protect researchers and their laboratory workers as well as the community around them, and that we use science for the benefit of people. So I am closely involved in this response, and everything that I've seen so far is very consistent with the animal to human spread that we've seen in other zoonotic origin.
I mean, the two things don't necessarily include each other. That is, Chinese labs could well have acquired the bats.
Yeah, let me make a few. Sure. Let me just.
1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
That's where the bats are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the two things aren't mutually exclusive, are they?
Yeah. Let me make a comment. Information is critical, and having the very best information available to those who, to everyone, to be able to protect themselves, their families, their communities is essential. In the midst of new infections, it is very common for rumors to emerge that can take on a life of their own. So as you mentioned, a laboratory and the center of what else is happening in that province, I'm reminded of concerns we heard when I was in Sierra Leone in 2014 with the Ebola response. There was a concern that there was a hemorrhagic virus research center in Sierra Leone, and maybe that's where the virus had come from. It was a key rumor that had to be overcome in order to help control the outbreak. So based on everything that I know right now, I can tell you the circumstances of the origin really look like animal to human. But your question, I heard. So.
Thank you. Dr. Sukhani?